welcome back to the Samsara III project. I was told to put some music in the background, so I did. Put a link to it in the description, I guess. Anyways, the first episode was actually really well received, and thank you. I like doing YouTube, and I like to see my work appreciated. So we're back here with episode 2. The Megathallassic ecosystem, it's called that because Megathallasus. I don't know why I just pointed to the screen with my hands. You can't see my hands. Anyway, this is Megathallasus. It's not the continent, it's the ocean. The Megathallassic era, it's called that because Megathallasus. Now, some updates on the planet. 300 million years have passed since Chapter 1. Now, I'm not actually going to be using a linear time scale, I guess. In this series, I'm just gonna basically throw together a bunch of different species and show a linear, branching evolutionary history, but not a specific time period. Anyways, the reason Megathallasus exists is because several comets crash into Samsara III, which has filled the oceans with a ton of water. New oceans lead to new niches, or however you want to pronounce it. Basically, it's a role a specific species uses. It's the role a specific species has in its environment. And more than one creature can't occupy the same niche, otherwise they will compete and one will eventually die out. Now, there's been some atmospheric changes. Nitrogen and oxygen have gone up, radon has gone down from the radiosynthetic microbes and multicellular pseudoplants. They've been taking it in and turning it into oxygen. Argon has been... it stayed the same. Carbon disulfide has all but disappeared because it's not very stable in gas form. Carbon dioxide has gone down a tiny bit, and there's really been no shift in the trace gases. Now on to some creatures, because I know you guys like those. Anyways, this is Knygopisces, which from Greek translates to hunterfish. It's about a foot long. This is a front view. This is a side view. It descended from Pteropoda, and it quickly outcompeted Pteropoda for the predatory niches. And sadly, Pteropoda is now an extinct family. Is it a family? Is it an order? Is it a genus? I'm not sure. But yep, death is a part of life, so here we are. Now, something that evolved alongside Knygopisces from Pteropoda as well is Ftyaripisces, the spade fish. It's a sister clade to Knygopisces. It lives by crawling on the seafloor, hence the flappy flap things. It digs up tubers and sucks them into its mouth. That's why it's called the spade fish. Well, not tubers, just, digs in the soil and eats plants and not plants. And it occasionally moves quicker by flapping its fins really fast, but not just flapping them, dragging them across the sea floor, which I think some of you may be able to think where that may lead. Now, the family Xenogaridae, the alien shrimps. Plotiliophytae is the armored shrimp, and Xenogaridae is it's the reason the family's called that. It's the alien shrimp. It's the equivalent of Samsara III's... It's Samsara III's equivalent to shrimp and krill. Plotiliophytae specifically, however, has evolved an armored carapace and a beak, both made of lead nitrate, which it absorbs the lead and the nitrogen from the water. And because it's it's got better defenses. It has reached a much larger size than Xenogaridae. Now here's what eats them. The Stomaforma family. Stomaforma, the elder mouth form, or ancient mouth form, or old mouth form, I don't know. It's a random, well, not random, it's a normal filter-feeding animal, I guess. It's evolved some bristles on its face parts. Now, Filtrodonta, this thing is an abomination, and I really should change the art for it. But it evolved from Stomaforma, and it has 2 of these face tentacles, both lined with bristles, and it looks horrifying in my humble opinion, but it's reached 7 feet long, which is the biggest anything has ever gotten on this moon so far, and it's fairly effective. And now we're on to some plants. Here we got Plotiliophytae. It can reach up to around 10 feet in diameter and can have roots up to 100 feet deep. Reproduces by fragmentation, meaning whenever one of the leaves, one of these things, sticking out of the main plant breaks off, it grows into a new whole Plotiliophytae, which means they form vast mini islands of just basically blue lily pads and float. Now, some radiophytes, or rather just the aquatic steppe. Now, steppe is the term for a large area of flat, unforested land, usually covered with short plants. These guys live in flat, obviously unforested land, and these are short plants. Okay, Caulifilla it means hollow leaf. It can grow up to 1 inch tall. And there's Tristelliophylla, which means 3-stem leaf. Can you guess why it's called that? Because it's got 3 stems on it and 3 leaves on those 3 stems. Bingo, Timmy! You got it right. It's got 3 stems and 3 leaves on each stem. Today, one of my friends brought up a good point. What if it's born with 4 stems or 4 leaves? It's a genetic mutation, and it's comparable to a 4-leaf clover. Now, what is next? Next time, some of our creatures and pseudoplants will start the next major step in Samsara III's biohistory. Can you guess where that is? That's right. Colonization of dry land. I know it's happening fairly quickly, but obviously the species shown in the last 2 episodes, it's not completely showing all the species or the complete biohistory of Samsara III. It's just an overview. And yeah. So if it seems like it's going by fairly quickly, it is. So make sure to come back in like a week or so if you want to catch that video when it comes out. Now, have a nice day. Bye.